Hey everyone, today I've done a new version of one of my favorite designs. I've done this optical illusion Dotticure in several different color schemes, but this time I've used all neon polishes. To start, I prepped all of my nails with a base coat. I then made a bunch of decals by applying a base coat to sections of my silicone mat. You can also do this design straight on your nails, but it's a lot easier to place the dots on a flat surface. Once the base coat had dried, I started the spiral by using a medium-sized dotting tool to place a pink dot in the center of each decal. I then continued adding rainbow dots in a spiral, overlapping each previous dot slightly. After I had placed purple dots, I started back over with pink and continued the spirals. To prevent the colors from running together, you'll want to give the dots some time to dry before moving on to the next color. But generally, if you're making a full set of decals, the previous dots will have dried by the time you've made it back to the first decal. If you notice that the colors are pooling together, just take a break for a few minutes and then resume your spiral. It's also best to get fresh polish frequently to prevent the colors from stringing when you pull the dotting tool away from the decal. I like to put a drop of polish on the side of my mat, dip the dotting tool into it, and complete a dot on each decal, and then get new polish for every set of dots. But if you work more quickly, you might not have to change it as often. Once I had completed a few rounds of the spiral, I switched out my dotting tool for the next largest size, in this case the other end of my double-ended tool. I then continued the pattern, gradually adding larger dots as I moved forward to give the illusion that the spiral was getting closer as it moved outward. I eventually changed my dotting tool again and kept adding dots until the decals were wide enough to fit my nails. At this point, I stopped adding dots to the sides and just focused on the tops and bottoms. Here I placed 2 dots at a time, one below the spiral starting on the left and one above starting on the right. Once I had completed a new layer, I switched my dotting tool one last time. Now using my largest dotting tool, I added another set of dots to each decal. Once the decals were long enough to cover my nails, I left them to dry. The drying time will depend upon the polish you use, but I like to leave mine for at least an hour to make sure they're truly dry and won't tear when I go to remove them. Once my decals were ready, I applied a latex barrier around my nails. The latex helps with cleanup, and it also helps to keep the decals in place when you remove the excess. I then gently peeled the decals away from the mat and trimmed them down a bit. I applied a top coat to my nails and used a silicone stamper to press the decals into the wet top coat. The stamper helps to remove air bubbles from the decals, but you can also just place them by hand. I trimmed the ends of the decals a bit more and used a cotton swab dipped in acetone to dissolve the excess polish around my nails. I then removed the latex barrier and sealed my nails with a top coat. I hope you all liked this bright design and let me know what other color combinations you'd like to see in an optical illusion Dotticure.